So, good evening. Again, this is Mark Miller with Career Pivot with my lovely assistant.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth. How is everyone doing today?
And we are here to talk. We are here every Monday night at 8 p.m. Central Time to talk about a topic, but really this is for you. And so this is one of my most popular posts of all time, the Purple Cow job description, and should I apply? This on LinkedIn got to about 400,000 views. And with, well over, 500 comments.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's the comments which drives the sharing usually with these social media posts. So with that, Elizabeth has a set of questions for me. So let's get started, and then we can, when we're done after about 15 or so minutes, we can open up the floor and let people ask questions.
Okay, so tell us, what is a Purple Cow description?
Well, it's also referred to as a purple squirrel.
Okay.
i.e. it doesn't exist. I actually came up with the Purple Cow because there used to be a resume book, which I cannot find anymore, called the Purple Cow resume book.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the idea is when people generate these job descriptions, and by the way, most people who generate job descriptions, including me in my last job, I was not qualified to write one. Period. Okay. I'm sorry. Did I know how to write a job description? No. So what did I do? I got on Indeed, found a roughly comparable job, copied it. Now, it probably sucked too.
Yeah.
And then I added all my qualifications.
Okay.
And once I added all my qualifications, did the ideal candidate exist? And the answer is nope. Not for mine. I was looking for a technical trainer in the video world who happened to have the certification that I issued, who happened to live in Austin.
Wow. Okay.
And by the way, I had issued less than 500 of those certifications worldwide.
Okay.
So did that individual exist?
Probably not.
No. If someone who had absolutely was the perfect candidate did not exist. And that's why you have to be very careful about these job descriptions. I was reading Lou Adler's book, or listening to Lou Adler's book.
Okay.
And he claims that job descriptions they shouldn't be done at all the way they are. They should be written as far as job outcomes. What are you supposed to be able to accomplish?
Okay.
Rather than saying, oh, I need someone with skills X, Y, Z. I need you to have done this, that, the other thing, which really doesn't say, and it doesn't tell you as the reader, what is this person going to do?
How do you want this person to grow or achieve the things?
In my case, I wanted someone who would be able to train on this material to this kind of audience, to a diverse, multicultural audience, very diverse technically. I didn't write up any of that in the job description. I didn't say what you were going to have to do, and then let you sell yourself on the fact that I can do that. I said, oh, well, here are the qualifications. Is that a really good way of defining a job? The answer is no, not really. At least Adler in his latest book says that, job descriptions that exist today don't perform the function that they're intended to, which is to find the best candidate.
Okay.
And have the best candidate to apply.
Do that. So how do you respond to the question that, even though there's 10 things on the Purple job description, the Purple Cow job description, and say you can do 6 of them?
Yes.
So do you still go ahead and apply, or do you?
Well,
How do you convince him? Or
okay, in the post, I kind of went through and broke it down into number one, the high level job description. Can you do it? And it doesn't mean you've done it, but can you do it?
okay,
Can you visualize yourself being able to do the job?
okay.
The second is, do you meet most of the requirements? Not all of them. And here I say, make sure you meet at least half of the requirements or qualifications. Because again, they're asking for the world.
Yeah.
The other piece is, do you have equivalent qualifications?
Okay.
This is real important as you want to cross industries.
Okay.
As you want to cross industries, can you demonstrate that you've done something similar?
Mm-hmm.
Not that exact same thing. And by the way, in my opinion, that makes you more valuable because it gives you perspective.
Yes.
And then start looking at your educational credentials. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Do you have all of the credentials, or do you have equivalent credentials?
Okay.
Right. If you don't have, if they require a PMP but don't have one, I would then start thinking about, how do I demonstrate I have the equivalent of a PMP, right?
Okay.
And there are little tricks that I'll talk about with a couple of your last questions on how to get around that.
Okay. All right. So, well, how do you know whether or not you should apply for the Purple Cow job? I think we talked a little bit about that.
If you meet enough of the qualifications,
yeah,
and you can see yourself doing the job. Now, the key piece here is, if you're going in cold, and the only thing they have of you is your resume, you're probably going to lose anyway.
Yeah.
Period. But the idea is to work your connections and know whether this makes sense. In other words, be able to put it in context, and therefore have someone also at the place of employment who is willing to go to bat and sell you.
Okay.
Again, if you go in cold and where they don't, oh, you submitted your resume.
Yeah, that's not going to go very far.
Well, they will. You've had a couple of interviews where you've gone in and didn't meet all their qualifications.
Yeah.
And if you had known ahead of time what were the key aspects, you might have done a better job of selling yourself, right? If you knew that, like in your one interview, that the Facebook was really important, well, then maybe you could have done something ahead of time.
Yeah.
But, by the way, that wasn't in the job description. It was in there, but
it wasn't
yes,
priority. So.
It was a priority. So, so it's the key piece here is, there was a Harvard Business Review article that I quoted, in at least the one on LinkedIn, where I said, the Harvard Business Review said, men, if they meet 60% of the qualifications, will apply.
Yeah. Yep.
Women believe that they have to meet 100% of the qualifications. And in the article I posted, I said, so, ladies, is that true? And I had literally hundreds of comments come back say, yep. And so it's using your judgment when you look. But again, you're going to want to use your connections. You're going to want to use, and as we did on a previous session here, where we talked about, if you're not the perfect fit, you're not going to get hired. So if you lack some things, So what? No
Yeah.
one's going to have it all.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Well, and I think as an employer, you wouldn't want that person to have everything, because how are they going to grow and become,
Right.
They've already achieved everything, what else do they want to learn, or how can they learn, or whatever.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
I would think that you'd want to have that somewhat investment with that, but
Yeah. It's the key piece here is no, you don't need to meet all the qualifications, because if you did, they wouldn't hire you either anyway.
Yeah.
So it's judging whether you're close enough.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So how do you handle a situation where do I not have all the educational credentials needed for a job?
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
The two ways I've seen this is where they say either, a PMP is required or an MBA is required.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things is in your resume to put down, I have 20 years of experience equivalent to an MBA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Real life experience.
Real life experience.
Mm-hmm.
The key word is to put MBA in the resume, because there are keywords. Now, you cannot lie.
Yeah.
So I know one person who used to serve on the board on my Launchpad. She had a master's in project management. She does not have a PMP.
Mm-hmm.
She has something. Mm-hmm. So she's got to, in her resume, she has to put in, my master's in project management is the equivalent of a PMP.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
The term PMP has to show up in the resume.
Okay.
If they say MBA required, MBA has to show up.
Mm-hmm.
And all that's going to do is get you past the initial screeners.
Yeah. Okay.
Because a lot of these applicant tracking systems will search on keywords based on importance, and it will give you a ranking for a score for your resume. Mm-hmm. If you don't score enough, the recruiters won't look at you. That's why it's real critical. If you have the equivalent experience of an MBA or a PMP or whatever, then go ahead and put it on there.
Okay.
And again, don't lie.
Yeah.
Do not lie.
Sure.
You will get caught. Mm-hmm. But really what you want to, all this is trying to do is get you to where you have an interview. That's it. That's all you really want. You want an interview.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And all you want to do is get past the screeners. And again, you're going to have a much better chance of getting an interview if someone has already put a good word. You already have a referral.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you'll be able to determine. The other piece is, particularly with some of these really complex job descriptions, by the way, they're not real.
Okay.
There is no real job behind it. I know any number of companies that will put a job description out and will do it only to collect resumes for future reference.
Okay.
Or the company already has an internal candidate and they will put it out, and it may be a really complex job description.
Yes.
And they will leave it up for a couple of days. I have a client in the UK who just took a new job. She works for IBM.
Okay.
She was told she had the job, but without an official offer.
Sure.
And they said, we're going to post it. So they posted it.
Okay.
They left it up for 2 days.
2 days. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I know they posted it internally. I think they may have posted it externally. They closed it and then immediately offered her the job.
Okay.
In other words, they went through the formality.
Yeah, that they would posted it.
Well, a lot of these big multinational companies, they will, they will.
They've got the person picked out.
Yeah, they will do what they'll do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah.
So with that, Does anybody have a question? Does anybody want to hop in or have a question? I'm going to unlock the scene, and I'm going to clear out my little icon. And does anyone want to hop in with a question, or anybody want to type in a question into the chat box? We have a big crowd here today.
We do.
So
that's okay.
Yep. So I'll give it another few seconds. So has anyone applied for a Purple Cow job description? Let me ask you that.
And without a referral or anything, has anybody taken that leap and done that?
I know some of you have.
So don't be shy. You're among friends here. So.
Okay. Well, Stan just stepped out. So how about this? Okay. Folks, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. Okay. This recording will be available in a couple of days. It will be available at least by Thursday when I post this on my my Career Pivot blog. Mm-hmm. And with that, if you are watching this on YouTube or on Blab, give me a little thumbs up, give me a comment, give me a share, give me a thumbs down if you don't like it. And Stan says he's back, but we're going to shut this down, and I'm going to turn off the recording.